Booey, Baba Booey.
Jeez.
Anyway, so Matt Team Black was on, and we had Jamarl, and hopefully Hard Bastard will show up. I'd show you the email. You guys want to add him? But he said he was going to come on sometime. I'm not kidding.
You know, I just realized, you know, the ultimate mindfuck we can have in this chat room is if we somehow manage to get Cornel West and Jamarl on at the same time.
Oh, good lord.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
It would be awesome, but boy, would our brains hurt tomorrow morning.
I would just shut the hell up. I wouldn't say a damn word. I wouldn't.
No,
I might make a few jokes, but I wouldn't say a damn word.
I was just sit there and smile because I'm just enjoying everything.
No, Eric, you'll just talk and talk.
Cornell would he's got such a great sense of humor too, so he would probably appreciate it. I don't know if he would appreciate your jokes though, James.
I got to stay within 3 feet of him. I felt like, wow, that's a pretty big freaking deal. When we were in Philly, he spoke when Jill was speaking at Philly, and it was a kick, man. It was like, wow, this guy is so cool.
All right, I'll be back.
Do you remember the struggle we went through during the MLK Day, and John Lewis and what's the other one? Elijah Cummings. It's like they forgot about it, but they want to run on it.
Wow. Yeah.
I like Cornell because Cornell is like a street professor. Cornell comes out in that damn 3-piece suit with the vest and all that shit. He's out there. It's like 1,000 degrees out. I am telling you, it was so hot. We were dying. You remember, Shirley, during the convention?
I was there. It was brutal.
It was, and he's there in his suit looking good. And I just thought, man, oh man, if I could only be that cool, if I could be that cool in my lifetime.
And the other great thing was Susan Sarandon there in her hat with a hole in it.
I missed that one.
Yeah, she was on camera with the hat with a hole in it. But I just thought that was great. She's so like graceful, you know. She can wear a ball gown, or the Oscars, or out on the streets in Philly sweating with the rest of everybody, you know.
Yeah, I actually Nate and Lisa Mojica and I were down in the wrong park at that point, and it was like we were all riding trains to get home, and it was.
Did you get caught up in that like torrential rain?
Yes, it was so great. It was so great, and then they had that big truck with the Hillary sign on it. The Hillary, I can't remember. It was the for that movie they put out right then. I can't remember the name of it. About her financial dealings.
Oh.
Anyhow, they had a truck with a big billboard on the front on the side. And you had to see Lisa, man. If you ever wanted to meet somebody, Lisa Dunn ran down. She could run down in front of a truck, man. She's still great. She's just one, she's not a very tall woman, but she's a big woman. I like her. She got the cops to wave us in past the gates. They opened up the gates for the SEPTA line because everybody was holding up the line trying to get all these wet tickets through and stuff. So the cops finally just said, oh, well, she went over and talked to him. All of a sudden the gates are open and stuff, man. I'm telling you, she's a person to be aside of during a protest.
I was proud of my Philadelphia police officers during that event. They didn't look militarized.
Hey, I
regular uniform.
I'm the last person on earth who would say a nice thing about a cop. But I tell you, the Philly cops during the convention were some of the best at doing crowd control. They did it exactly right. They just had bike cops in regular uniforms, keep people cool, and the Bernie crowd was really cool anyhow. I mean, even if we were loud and stuff, you know, it wasn't a bad crowd. So they didn't over police it, you know, and that was a good thing.
Yeah, they were integrating with the people, talking with them and stuff like that. So.
Oh, we were offering them water, you know. I mean, you know, trust me, the cops don't get that treatment from me unless they're being real nice, and they were real nice.
Do you guys
Yeah,
remember?
they were.
I was telling that my husband was listening to one of Chris Hedges' books. I think it's The Wages of Rebellion, and he talks about how that's like key in all like real successful revolutions, is that once the police start siding with the people,
right? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to hang it up because I gotta lie down. So great talking to you guys.
Good talking to
See you,
you.
Kelly.
I'll be
Good night,
listening.
Kelly.
I'll be listening. Good night.
Thank you, Kelly. Bye bye.
I'm trying to think where the nicest cops actually are. I mean, my brother-in-law is a cop, and he was in New York City, but he was kind of, he was the passive-aggressive cop. So, but I don't know. I can't even think. Chicago wasn't great. Baltimore is horrible.
Yeah.
I think actually Long Island is actually okay, but I can't.
Mayberry.
Well, supposedly Salt Lake City's got really great police department because they went and they put like several hundred more hours of training in Salt Lake City.
I don't know if I know I sent it out to Ariel and to Redneck Economics. There was a thing, I think it was Thailand, where there was a cop.
Oh yeah.
And this guy who was just like freaking out because he lost his job or whatever. He had a knife and he came in and the guy just sat down and talked to him for a minute.
Yeah.
And like offered him a water and stuff. It was like, is this for real?
Right.
And the guy just broke down and cop gave him a hug. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the guy
that happened to this.
He was a musician and he'd had his guitar stolen and all the stuff, so he was just feeling really desperate and right. Yeah, I mean, that's where these kind of things come from and how easily they diffused that situation. The cop even told him he had a guitar that he would give him. I mean, it's just humanity. I mean, that's how you change the whole narrative. The guy, after he talked to him, the would-be criminal, he just broke down crying because he was just so touched that, that someone talked to him the way he did. It's just, that's what it takes. Jeez.
And that's good, because the good cops, we got good cops out here, but the bad cops outweigh them. And like I said, they still hate Serpico in New York.
Yeah, Shirley, I
don't know how many years.
Can I say
Shirley,
one
I
thing?
thought for sure when I went to Philly, we'd get our ass kicked, at some point. Just because I'm willing to stand where ass kicking happens, but. I thought that for sure the Philly cops were going to bust their heads,
Hey,
but
time out, guys, real time out. Okay, so Ebon Lee.
Is that Kevin?
Hold on, time out, please.
Yeah, I
time
was
out.
trying to say something.
If Ebon, who has the con? Do you know what that means? Who has control?
I think Ebon still has it.
Ebon still has control?
I believe so.
Yeah, calling user 5 is Kevin trying to be heard.
Okay.
Can you hear
Eric,
me
you don't have control? Eric?
No, I don't have control.
Okay. So the reason why I ask is because last night was fucked.
Hello.
And if you're Shirley, you would have been
Yeah, I
very
still have the
offended.
con.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
If you were Shirley, you would have, and Tim would have been superly offended. Because the guy said these guys were wicked, not good. They were just insidious. These are the people that vote for Trump. But anyway, but the thing is at this stage, I've got to be serious about this. We're starting to gain ground. People are going to come in. There's going to be a troll. There's going to be an insidious, crazy right winger, or it could be a Dumbocrat. You never know. But we should always be prepared. And I don't want to make it seem like it's doomsday, but we have to protect our each other.
Yeah, we don't want to get our videos flagged.
If somebody says something bad, I just don't want that to happen. I mean, people are gonna say things if they do it professionally, if they do it with character and ethics, and they're courteous about it, and there's good debate, and there's a forum starting to happen, then that makes great sense. But when you have people shouting out racist slurs and just saying stupid things right off the bat, we have to be able to immediately eliminate those people. So my question is, and I've got to ask the question, can that happen right now? If somebody came on right now, can somebody?
Ebon's in the he's in the chat, so I am assuming he's listening.
Yeah.
But there's visuals here. So some guy can come on here and show his junk, and then we can't do anything about it.
I know what you're saying, James. We basically need to have the power to take care of it.
Somebody needs to be. If Ebon leaves, it should be somebody that's paying attention.
Should be Erik. Erik's on the con. I thought Erik should
I'm only saying this because it's getting to that point. I mean, does anybody think I'm wrong?
No.
No.
It's good, but I don't.
I have to what happened last night.
Because you're just gonna
watch.
Gonna hop on.
Oh, they already tried again tonight. There was a little period.
Oh, there's Kevin's here.
Yeah, there was some time when. Well, that was Kevin trying to get in. The call number 5, that was him. So, but yeah, I agree with you, James. We do need to have a good system where we know exactly what to do when that pops up, because I think they already did pop up again. And I know Stevie blocked that same guy in the chat. I think she booted him out. So yeah, I mean, I think we took care of it pretty well tonight.
Well, here's the
don't know if they're going to
thing too. Well, is there a way to ban people from the chat? I mean, it's kind of a bummer if I get bumped off on my phone, and I can't get back on. I'll talk to Tim whenever, but I want to talk to you guys on Anything Goes, to be honest with you. And I was like, oh man, somebody must have been stupid, and it would kind of be a bummer, especially for the new guys. I mean, I'll come on whenever, but when somebody's trying to get in, if they are trying to get in right in the beginning and then they can't get in, they may be discouraged to do it again.
No. Okay, wait. Okay, so here's the thing, and hopefully Ebon is taking my information that I'm giving him seriously, because what I don't want is when somebody comes on and we boot him just because. That can't happen. So
I understand it.
Is we give him a couple of questions, we see what's going on, we give him a little chance. I guarantee you there's somebody who's going to do something. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
But
the thing is that
I'm saying is if it gets to that point, we need to have somebody immediately that's here paying attention that can go, bye, see it.
Because if they're not willing to tell you who they are and give you some kind of information about themselves, and they want to hide behind their anonymity, the person who was on last night, was using fake names rather than saying who they really are. Like me, I gave you guys my names, I gave you guys my Twitter. You can actually check and see who I am. So I can be held accountable for the words I say, whereas other people can come on and say racial slurs and not be held accountable because they hide behind their anonymity.
Yeah, there was a guy on tonight with a mask and goggles. He had an American flag mask. Did you guys even see that?
I didn't see that one. Oh, that one.
He was on. He popped in and out of our show about 7 times, and he had a mask on.
Tonight?
Tonight had a mask on like this.
That was someone.
It was the Fly.
Yeah.
His name was the Fly.
Somebody say something if you can hear me.
And
we can hear you, Kevin.
It
we hear you, Kevin. You're fading like you usually do.
What the hell with it?
He didn't do anything. I'm just saying if he did, then we should have somebody that can do something.
No. Yeah, Kevin, your phone is really glitchy, brother. That's we have a hard time. You can hear your first words when you say, "Can you hear me?" And then you start talking and he disappears. But yeah, I agree with James, man. We gotta have there's got to be some sort of a system of yeah. I agree.
It's like we just make it like Star Trek.
James, I watched it. I watched that from last night to see what the hell, because Kelly hit me up to what happened last night, because I sent a tweet out that was about something, and I just sent it to Kelly and them just because it was an interesting thing, and it was about like what Rusty and I were talking about, you know. And Rusty came on. We had a conversation.
That was fine.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Rusty came on, was perfect. You know, we were both civil and you know, managed our tempers as best we could. And I thought that went well, you know. But so it's not impossible. It's just, you know, need some, you know, need a little help every once in a while, you know, to sort of knock those people out, because the people are just here to you know, throw out epithets and to just be, you know, be antagonistic without really adding to a conversation.
They're disruptors. They're just disruptors. So what I'm saying is, maybe in the future, maybe it's like Star Trek when Captain Kirk's got to leave, so he leaves Spock. You know, Spock, you have the con. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they have been passed.
When he leaves, so he needs to give the con to somebody that's paying attention and watching the screen. Because I don't want some guy to come on, have his junk on for 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever seconds until Ebon comes back or whoever has the con.
James, I think the fly guy is actually somebody in the chat that's always in there. Their name is Someone, and they have a fly attached to their icon, and he's just saying that was him. I don't think there's any sort of troublemaking intention going on. Just he's just being.
I don't know. So what does that mean?
The fly's legit. That's what Stevie says.
But what I'm saying is, what if he wasn't legit?
Right. Sure. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
that's.
Get it, but we all bow down to.
It's just me, man. I've been in security. Anyway.
I'm with you.
I am just saying.
I'm with you, brother James.
I'm just saying I threw it out there, now I'm done. And just when the junk comes, just hopefully we're prepared. That's all I have to say about that.
Well, I get it, because there are several different things that can happen, and I've already seen it. People who hijack the conversation. B, people who, you know, say racist or really stupid or, you know, bad things. See, I haven't seen this yet. But what if somebody gets stupid and, you know, like takes their clothes off while they're on video?
That's what I just said. Yes.
That's what James is saying. You know.
So, yeah, which is so or.
Well, it depends on who's doing it, though. That's.
Oh God!
That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm doing it right now.
Trust me, I'm not on that list of people you want to see.
Outside voice, James.
Okay.
Well, I'll be right back.
There can be a code of conduct. Too. I mean, first off, you guys know me. You guys know my tag, and you guys know my real name. I will never allow someone else to use the phone and call, you know, using my thing. But if somebody does that, they should get warned. I don't think it's ever happened. I haven't heard it happen. But, you know, also, if you have somebody, like, really hijacking the conversation, they need to be told. I've seen it a couple of times when I come in. So, you know, we tend to be nice. You know, the lefty guys tend to be nice and like to have people talk all the time. So I'm going to stop talking now. Go ahead.
That was just some of my junk.
I think Independent Outsider is talking too much. Should we kick him?
He's a real
what a rebel rouser.
Y'all hadn't seen my face yet. God.
Well, you trust me, you don't want to see my face.
No, wait a second. If I'll put my face on, that's not an excuse for anybody.
Well, I'm sorry, Broken. Not everyone can be as handsome as you, man.
No. That was quite the opposite. I was saying quite the opposite.
Now I'm just curious because I was out of the room for a little while. Was the room blocked because Tim was in, or was somebody being stupid, or both?
A little bit
I
of
couldn't
both.
get back in.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So Pizza Man joined in again, so I could recognize his background. So
Wow.
I just went in, and I saw some people in chat. So
He apparently doesn't have any light bulbs, this pizza guy.
oh, I gotta get his picture up. So yeah, that was the reason why. Sorry, Kevin.
Okay.
I usually leave it locked for a while, and then I'll unlock it and see if they come in or not, and leave it unlocked. And then if they try coming in again, I lock it. So if they're just wasting their time pretty much because they don't know when I'm gonna unlock it or lock it. So keep trying when that happens.
It's kind of a bummer. Now, do you actually have a kick button if somebody's being stupid or says something?
Yeah.
Derogatory?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I heard you make that threat before. I'm like, that's kind of like Barney Fife with a gun if you couldn't do it. With the bullets in your shoe.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay.
But I try like until they do something, I don't kick. I mean, if they want to partake, fine, awesome. If they want to actually talk about stuff, if they just want to start, keep asking about dumb stuff and then cursing.
Well, I pretty much
hijacking.
think the pizza guy is out to do dumb stuff. I think.
It doesn't seem to work real great when people call in. Their phones don't work real great for some reason. I mean, I don't know if that's just Kevin maybe or because we have another guy that was on the phone that was having a problem sort of fading in and out too.
Kevin.
Oh, okay. I just thought it was somebody else. I just, I felt sorry for him.
Get bumped off a lot.
Every time he got to start talking, his phone would fade the hell out, and none of us could hear him. So,
okay.
Speaking of bullet, oh, sorry, I was gonna say. Speaking of,
check this out real quick. I got my wife. So she went to China, and she picked me up this pack of hand-rolled cigarettes, and I can't get it to the light. It's right there. It is. And it came in a little metal box, and I always make my own cigarettes. So now I got a little metal box with Mao on it that I can. It's Mao and a bunch of other critters. I don't know who else is there, but he's the only one I know of.
Speaking of bullets in your shoe, did you guys see the Jimmy Dore video about the dumbass sheriffs that were trying to shoot a dog and they shot themselves in the foot?
Good. Good.
It happens more often than you think.
Wow.
My stepdad's brother-in-law was cleaning his gun. He was a West Virginia cop, and he blew his toe off with a shotgun while cleaning his shotgun. So,
Wow.
I think the key words in that is West Virginia cop. But
I thought the one about the guy that was doing a gun safety training class, a concealed weapon training class, that shot himself. That was a good one. Or shot one of the people there. Yeah, he pulled his gun out that was supposedly unloaded, and it fired.
Yeah, I think she was like a librarian or something. Totally like. Yes, I think she ended up dying from that too. It was awful.
Well, the one I heard about, it was just an injury. I wouldn't laugh so much about it.
I guess there's so many of them, it's hard to keep track,
I'm a carpenter. It's like, what's the first thing you ask? You all right? As soon as they say all right, then you can laugh at them.
You laugh at them.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy Dore's video, it's easy to laugh at those cops and not feel sorry for them at all because they were so incompetent that first off, they got bit by a dog. And instead of pulling out the pepper spray like a mailman would do, they both pulled out their guns and just started shooting all over. And they missed the dog. They didn't hit the dog once, but instead they shot a teenage boy in the chest and killed him. A 17-year-old in the chest and killed him.
Jesus.
And then they shot themselves. And then they shot the one cop shot himself, or the other cop shot him in the foot. It was like they shot themselves in like the one guy's foot. Like it was, I don't know if it was the other cop or if it was the cop was like freaking out and shooting down. But somehow this cop got shot in the toe.
Jeez, Barney must have deputized Goober.
they're still going to euthanize the dog. Like they didn't, the dog's no longer a threat, but they're still going to go back and euthanize the dog because there wasn't enough carnage in that situation.
And the thing is, there was no proof that the dog even attacked them. They could have been using that as an excuse for killing that boy because the dog just might have happened to be there. But the thing is, ABC News corroborated the policeman's story without checking with anybody else to see what was going on, because the way ABC reported it said that they were responding to a complaint of loud music. Whenever they showed up, a dog, like a random pit bull, just came out of nowhere and bit one of them on the knee. So then they each pulled out their guns and just started shooting all over the place. And the way ABC framed it was like a stray bullet out, ricocheted off of the sidewalk and off a building and then off a satellite in space, and then it just happened to come down to shoot this teenage boy in the chest, and they tried to disconnect the police officers' incompetence from the murder of the boy, like as much as possible, to make it seem like the cops didn't do it, like out of incompetence, and like they were trying to downplay the tragedy as much as possible.
Well, that's my problem with cops blazing away and saying, they feared for their life. They don't hit their target enough. And if the problem is they never look at like what the background of where they're shooting is when they start shooting. It's like their life is more important to the people inside the house and, everybody else. That one guy that got shot with the knife in Baltimore, that one, if you watch it, there's a whole bunch of people standing around. Them two cops are just blazing away towards the houses, towards the store. I just, that one and the guy that shot the guy getting out of his car that reached in to get his wallet. Same thing. He's standing in front of a freaking gas station. The bullets go through the wall. Police got to be a little bit more responsible about when and picking their target and not just blazing away, emptying their clips on things.
Well, yeah, there was actually a story where I live. There was a story about some hunters. They were shooting and they tried to shoot at a deer. And it went, like the bullet traveled like 2 miles and ended up shooting a woman as she was walking in her front door. It shot her in the head and she died because of that.
Every New Year's Eve it happens.
Where are you located?
I'm in northeast, like mid-northeast Ohio.
Oh.
Well,
they were there for a noise complaint. And they show up for a noise complaint, and then they start shooting guns, which is probably like the noisiest thing you can do, right? Like, oh, we better police it, make sure this area is goddamn quiet, guns blazing, dangerous situation with those noise complaints.
I love you, Stevie.
I delivered mail. Actually, there was a guy who knew that one of the cops had shot Amadou Diallo. He lived on his route, and he knew that Sharpton and his guys were going to do a protest and like by his house. So he banged out that day, and I was the goofus that happened to have to be over there. But the Amadou Diallo thing, 41 shots. I mean, seriously?
Well, that's nothing compared to the shooting that happened in Cleveland a few years ago with Michael Brillo, where they unloaded 300 and some rounds into the one woman. It was like, good God, how big of pussies are you, cops? It was 30 cops unloaded like 300 rounds into one woman. It was like, good God.
They're trying to say that it happened way too fast. I can't, I don't remember. I think it was 5. I think it was 5 officers or 4. I think it was actually 4 officers. So I think you actually had to I don't know. They might have had to reload. So I'm like, what the hell? It couldn't have been that fast. So.
Well, that one cop jumped up on the hood and started firing through the windshield. Either he feared for his life and they were a threat, or they were no threat and jumping up on the hood was just Rambo shit.
Right.
I think these cops need to be before they get on the force, when they going through the police academy, they need to be going. Well, my husband applied for the police academy here in Philly. He said they went around in his neighborhood and talked to people and found out about his background. just like something the FBI does.
That's what it is. It's an FBI background check.
I think we have a.
People didn't realize that Hot Fuzz was.
With some feedback. Okay.
And they need to start doing the. They need to start doing the background like that, because these people, I know people personally that are police officers. I'm like, oh my God, how the hell did he get on the police force in Philadelphia? He has a problem.
Well, you know, when I applied for the Postal Service, we had to take we had to take exams and we had to do drug tests. So I'm like, really? I mean, if you're doing, I understand that back in the early '90s, all those guys that quote unquote went postal, they were veterans, and there were a lot of veterans. There were a lot more veterans in the Postal Service back then than there are now. And they, most of those guys had PTSD. So that's where that whole going postal thing went. But, you have to take tests for being a postal worker. But where are the tests for being a cop? I know there's some psych stuff because my nephew's a cop, but not,
Well,
I just think there needs to be something more.
That's the two professions that should be drug tested is politicians and cops. They should be the ones that are drug tested.
And steroids. And for steroids.
Yeah, definitely.
And for crack.
I would love to see Congress take a drug test. I can imagine what the over-the-counter and under-the-counter drugs these people are taking.
Or just being drunk on the job. I mean, shit. Oh, hell. The other orange man.
Gomert?
The guy used to be the House leader for the Republicans.
Oh, Boehner.
Boehner. That cat was loaded about 90% of the time.
Yeah.
He was crying all the time.
He was loaded. He was freaking loaded, man.
Did you see when the Pope was here? He literally was boo. Oh, and I'm like, look at him.
Yeah, I mean, it can be emotional, but fuck, John, cool out, man. I mean, I cry at commercials, but I don't do it in front of people.
The only commercials I cried at is ASPCA commercials.
Well, I gotta say, I got kind of teary at Notre Dame. It was during a religious holiday, and I happened to be in Paris, and I was a kid. But it kind of got to me. But it's like, dude, you see famous people all the time. I don't. I mean, if he would have cried when Trump became president, that would have been, I've been like, oh, okay.
Right, Kevin wanted to say a couple of things. Kevin, can you say something, or did he just drop off? He dropped off. Never mind.
Does the Fly want to say anything?
I don't think his connection's great, so he's only able to pop in and out because he just said he was switching back over here to the regular chat. But that's someone's account. That's their joke. They have the fly on their icon, and it's a thing.
Yeah, that's someone.
He's our house fly.
Oh, that's his brand. That's his brand.
He's our house fly.
Yeah.
He's our house fly.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm gonna need goggles and a USA flag handkerchief from just when he's on.
I thought he was going to throw some gas into the chat. I was like, what the hell? I didn't see that before.
I got one of them. I can do the.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're.
Pirate action.
You need the goggles though.
Oh, I'm sure I got a set around. I ain't looking for them fuckers.
So someone is gonna actually have his own studio set up. So I don't know what he's doing with it. Someone, do You want to tell us what you're doing with your studio on chat? But anyways, that's...
Who is?
Someone. The Fly.
Oh.
Someone is.
That's like the did you guys ever read the Odyssey in school?
Yeah.
Whenever they goes into the Cyclops chamber and says his name is Nobody, so whenever he attacks the Cyclops, everyone's like, "Hey, dude, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yes, nobody is hurting me."
I got safety glasses, but they're clear, so they don't really do anything either.
Flies are important, man. I'm telling you. They're one of the cleanup crew. James!
I'm ready.
Not too much.
Oh, hey, Ebon, I have to tell you, I called Tinsel one time.
Did I miss that one? I don't remember hearing that. Was that a long time ago?
Yeah, I called one time. I was so nervous, but I called one time.
What did you say?
I can't remember. It was last year.
Okay, yeah, I probably wasn't around. I was still sleeping. Hey, this is good, James. You can't eat anything that way.
James Claude Keeley.
I'm trying to think of what movie character James looks like right now.
Oh, it's got to be one of the dudes from Mad Max or
yes, it is. It is Mad Max. That's what I'm thinking.
The Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come out. Come out. No one escapes us.
No one escapes us.
Leave, and we'll let you go in peace.
You leave. No one will go in peace. I fucking love that movie. That was one of my favorite movies.
The Mad Max series is like one of my favorite series of all time.
Fuck yeah.
I saw the Road Warrior or the Mad Max in drive-in. I saw Mad Max Road Warrior back to back when Road Warrior first came out. That was, well, actually, yeah, because I saw Mad Max in the theater, and then I saw Mad Max and Road Warrior. So
okay, here's a trivia question: what kind of car was he driving?
Oh shit! It's a Ford. It's a Ford.
I know it's a piece of crap.
No, that was one of the baddest ass cars. It looked like a piece of crap, but I think it wasn't an AMG. I think it was an AMG, man.
I thought I can't remember. It was a.
I'll find out. I'm sure it was an.
That was a freaking hot car.
It was a badass car,
Ford
dude.
Falcon. GT Ford Falcon.
There you go.
I just looked it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Badass car.
Machine.
That thing was awesome.
Oh, Stevie, I need one of those.
It had a blower on it. It was so awesome.
Yarg.
Nitrous and a blower.
I had to wear it after that song.
Oh, Stevie, I gotta get me one. Damn.
That's awesome. Look at that hat.
Is that a tricorn hat?
It's a Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
I rated my son's costumes. Who got better hats than me?
That's funny.
The original Mad Max just annoyed the hell out of me because how dumb the wife was. It's like, stay in safety. Okay, I think I'm going to go out, and have a walk in the woods with my kid. Really? What the hell? That made absolutely no sense to me. I mean, look, if you're going to get, if something's going to happen, it has to happen. But, I mean, come on. Seriously? It's like, the whole horror movie thing.
I'll never forget when I went to see Mad Max Thunderdome with Tina Turner in it in a theater.
Yeah.
And I was I knew a security guard working there, so he let us in. We was in the balcony and it was empty up there. Then this couple came up there and they were up in the back having sex during the movie. They had to put them out. I'm like on that sticky, nasty floor. Get a hotel.
Or a motel.
They got put out.
I did that one time. I was 15.
Ariel, what the hell are you wearing? What is that? Is that a bunny gorilla mask? I can't tell.
Oh no, I didn't see hers.
I got a scarf. I got bunny ears. I got my sunglasses on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Voila!
Grooving. Wait, make me get my horns. I used to keep them farther away. Now, because Ariel, I got to keep them close.
The goat horns.
I got a bigger set I want to get mounted so that I look like a too young a goat right now.
I don't think nothing like that. Oh my God. I had to come back on. Wait.
You have a hat?
We're ready for the fly.
Without a hat or a bandana across your face.
We're preparing for the fly.
So I went to the store actually. And I came back.
You got a bandana?
I had left it on, and
Joanne's got a cool hat.
I hear you guys still talking, and then I see everyone. James, the first thing I saw was you, and I was like, "Oh no, is Erik on this?" Oh my God, too funny, guys.
Since we're doing hats,
where is Erik?
We're doing this in honor of the fly that comes in and does nothing and leaves.
So I was thinking maybe that was, at first I thought maybe it's the guy that goes by someone.
It is.
It
is.
Or is it someone impersonating him? Because that would be a good trick.
Yeah.
Oh, that is.
It's no one.
Let's see your hat.
Anything inspires such a date.
I mean, do we know that it's him?
Yeah, I don't think we know for sure.
See, because that's actually pretty smart.
Stevie says it is.
Good night, Alice.
Oh.
Hey, Alice.
Good night, everyone.
Night, Alice.
Thank you so much for tonight.
Good job tonight,
brother.
Thank you.
There it is.
See you all in your funny little hats.
Hey man.
Oh, my hat's amazing.
This hat's the coolness. And I thought Snork's spinny hat was pretty bitchin' too.
Pretty bitchin'. Funny. Okay, so how many more attempts have you had?
Troll-wise, no, I don't think anybody.
Oh, that's good. Okay, good to know.
So I was looking to find this other hat that I've got, and I got to show you this abomination that I found. I totally forgot I had it.
Lucas.
Oh, I got to see the abomination. Where's the
I
abomination?
can't wait.
It's a Dale Earnhardt fanny pack.
Wow.
Oh, too cool.
Oh, there you go.
God rest his soul.
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
Oh God!
I watched that.
There's a place for you in Redneck Heaven somewhere, Steven.
Hey, I watch NASCAR.
I do too, or at least I used to. Yeah. But Mark,
there's this.
I love Mark Martin, man. He was my guy. Old man.
Yeah.
There's Erik.
I like Casey Kane. I'm still hoping.
What time is it?
Kick ass.
What are you wearing?
Does anyone know what time it is?
1:46.
No, no.
Oh, did I miss the joke?
I thought one of those somewhere.
I missed
Yeah, there was a joke to it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Get your hats on.
Trying to
I thought you were being serious.
Hold on, I gotta get my hat on. Okay.
Get your hat on, man.
No, I dressed up as my rabbit for Halloween. I met Ajamu Baraka dressed up as a bunny. I'm not kidding.
Well, hey, no, wait a second. You can pull it off. You can pull it off.
Yeah. I'd look like a moose.
Yeah.
Mario hat.
It was Halloween.
Oh, I like that Mario hat. That's awesome.
A lot of people were dressed up, and it was.
How old is that?
I had a tail too. I had a fluffy black tail that I had on.
Hey.
So yeah, I dressed up as my bunny.
It's a little Hugh Hefner.
Stevie, how old is that hat?
Is anyone else's glasses fogging up?
A couple of years old.
Okay, it looks like a collector's item. I was just gonna make an offer.
I'm
It's some discount.
I got the Mario hat.
Are anyone else's glasses fogging up?
Yeah, mine are.
I cannot see at all.
So we're going to have to institute either everyone wears something covering your face or it's not allowed at all, right? So we
this is in tribute to the fly, the mysterious fly.
Yeah.
I'm a turtle. I can sink down.
James just looks like he should be an extra in Point Break, in the remake of Point Break. Like,
you're not going off this plane, man. I can't let you do it. I can't let you do it.
There we go.
Where's Johnny?
Yeah, have you ever fired your gun up in the air and gone,
hat too.
Exactly.
When I said I was pirate before pirate was cool, that's probably a zillion years old, but it's got my pirate logo on it.
It's a cool hat. It's construction. Gotta have your hard hat.
Oh, I got several.
Also, Eric, whenever you said what time is it, I said Adventure Time, but my mic was muted, so you didn't hear it.
Oh. Who's your favorite character?
I don't know, Jake, but I also had, whenever that show was on, I was still pretty young whenever that show started, so I had a crush on Marceline the vampire then.
I like Lumpy Space Princess. She's like, and she's actually like, although despite her misbehaviors, but she's still funny.
it's like my beans. I love that one.
I love Princess Day. Whenever I have like breakfast for dinner. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tried to have that as my Xbox gamer tag, but that was already taken, so I had to go with Bacon Princess.
I was trying to figure out, is Joanne's hat like one of those what are they, Mongolian tiger hats?
Evan looks awesome.
It's like a tam, you know.
Wow.
It's like a cap. It's a tweed cap, sort of.
That's it.
So what do they call this? And if we all go out like this in like a protest,
we could be the Antifa.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're not even in the right black bloc uniform. You're more in the more actually when you got the goggles on and the bandana. Yeah, that is pretty good for if you get sprayed with.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
we're gonna start the
swimming
anti-block.
goggles.
Well,
We are the lamest.
like,
let's face it.
We're gonna do the anti-block. Anti-black block. We're gonna call it.
I thought I just thought like instead of the colorful block.
Oh, rainbow block. There you go.
There you go.
For the rainbow block.
I can be any color I want to be.
It just reminded me that a few years ago, the last time I thought about going to Gen Con, which is basically like a game convention in Indiana, but also has cosplay. That was when Pence was still governor, and he banned all funny costumes.
What?
He was saying that you couldn't wear costumes, that all the stores could ban you or not serve you if you were wearing a funny costume. And this started, this was during the whole gay marriage thing too, whereas saying that people had the right. But then it was like, oh well, if you dress funny, what the hell, I guess none of you guys could go in and
it's hard to breathe in the swimming
and get a hamburger.
It's hot. I'm hot.
Can I chime in on something about that?
Yeah.
I'm actually it's very funny. I'm really, really opposed to the recent Supreme Court decision about the rubber playgrounds from Missouri, where it's at a church, and they decided, and they footnoted it, so it's very, very narrow, and it's not going to really do much except give religious institutions abilities to use taxpayer dollars to make playgrounds for children at their facilities. But there will be one coming up next year about the baker in Colorado who didn't want to make a cake for a gay couple.
Right. Right.
And as a lawyer, I mean, as a person, I don't like obviously I want to make a cake for a gay person for a wedding if I make cakes, but I bake terribly, so nobody would want my cake. but as a business, I don't want a business to do that.
Well, here's the thing: they have a right to do that,
and it's not just about the fact that they're gay. I don't think it's about the marriage thing. So if you're gay and you have a birthday or you have a something, they'll make a cake for you. But if it's your fucking wedding and they fucking believe that, then that would be the least of the say Supreme Court decisions that I would disagree with. If they decided, yeah, they can decide no, that would be. I'm not sure I would care. Like that would be. I think that would be my point. I actually don't care, and I truly believe like people can do whatever they want, and people can get married however they want. But personally,
the last story that I heard about that, I mean, people did the right thing. They put those guys out of business by not going to them. They basically boycotted their bakery.
Yeah.
But it's also
that's how you combat that.
But it's also a public accommodations thing. If you're selling to the public, if that's what you do, then you sell to the public. You know, and so I mean, you really can't. They can't discriminate based on their own beliefs if they're a public accommodation.
Right.
That was the whole thing with Denny's. Chick-fil-A got in trouble for that. You know, I mean, you're absolutely right. But you have a private little business, and people started, you know, really politicizing it. But the thing is, okay, you want to do that? Fine. We'll put you out of business.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't go to Chick-fil-A anymore really much because not for any reason of them being or anything. It's just the fact that they don't serve coleslaw or potato salad anymore at a fried chicken joint.
I'm always
making those things. I'm like, you know what? There's no point anymore.
That's blasphemy.
I'm a vegetarian and I've never even seen a Chick-fil-A.
They used to have coleslaw. They used to have potato salad. I mean, those are like, you think like a picnic, fried chicken, right, with the potato salad. I used to get the chicken sandwich and put the coleslaw on it. Last time I went in there, they said, oh, we don't have the coleslaw anymore. They're trying to foist some pretty kale salad on you. I don't want it. It's got cherries in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened like 2 or 3 years ago.
In a plastic cup. It's like in this plastic sealed thing. And it's like, no.
I buy the chicken at the grocery store, and I buy the mashed potatoes and the coleslaw at KFC.
Yep.
Right.
Their mashed potatoes are their shit, man. I can live on those things, man. They're gravy. Oh.
Yeah, we got a place called the OK Cafe, and it's good. They have really, really good food. Good chicken and
I don't know
southern favorites. You know, it's just very good.
I don't know what it is, but Popeyes is chicken crack. I don't know what they put in that thing. But
yeah.
Popeyes is chicken crack for sure. It's spicy.
Popeyes and Churches. I like both those. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like KFC. The last couple times I've had KFC, it wasn't that good. And the grocery store serves something good as KFC. Cheaper.
So I just saw a scene on the way to the grocery store that I thought was really funny. You guys might think it was funny. So I'm driving down the road and it looks like emergency vehicles are ahead. Like the road's partly blocked and they've got a guy standing out and they're like waving traffic. And I drive by and I'm expecting like a house fire or something. No, it's the Spectrum cable people. So it's an emergency that the cable was down, you know, that the feed into the house might be cut for a brief hour, you know.
I can kind of relate to that, sadly. You know, I mean, if our show gets cut and...
No, well, I mean, like
ah!
Not internet, TV. I mean, cable TV. But I just thought it was one of those, like, I don't know, funny, if you look at it from a certain angle, kind of funny. I thought.
What do you guys think about the whole stupid cable wars, getting into stupid bidding wars and all that? To me, it's just annoying.
Like Spectrum bought out Time Warner or something, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it's like let's say the NFL channel during football season, they want to charge extra, and then
we all look like football players. I'm just kidding. It was a joke.
Or like the MLB channel, or whoever's like a cable channel that's all baseball, like right before the World Series or whatever. They always pull that nonsense. At least on and in New York, it's really bad with like MSY, with the Yankees games. They always pull it right before baseball season, where they're getting into bidding wars.
I actually can, if I can say something, I actually grew up. I'm in New York. I grew up a super. My first word was baseball, by the way, that I ever said in all of life. It wasn't mom, it wasn't dad, it was baseball. But I love the Mets, and I didn't realize my father was a Yankee fan until I was like 10. And it was a problem. And they changed. And I mean, the Mets, they're terrible. They're just awful. And they've always been awful, and I don't even know what to say about them. And then there's, and there's the Yankees, and the Mets they're terrible. But what really got me, actually, I was in law school too, and the Citibank bought my stadium, and we pay for that, right? So we pay for my new stadium. It's not Shea Stadium anymore. It's Citi Field. So we as taxpayers pay for that. And they take it off of the TV. And we don't even get to watch it anymore. Like there's not even a community of watching baseball anymore. And to me, I thought it was kind of gross. I thought that was a terrible thing for them to do. Yeah. And I still went on my birthday for this year and that year and the other year, but then I know them. It's the Maras, I think, that own the Mets or something. Anyway,
by the way, Kevin, can you test your audio?
Testing.
All right, sounds good.
Kevin's good today.
Seriously?
Yeah, it sounds real good.
Yeah.
Quick, say something.
Really?
But,
yeah.
I mean, you're not just yanking my leg here.
I can hear you through the helmet.
Okay, good.
I saw a special.
They've actually made New Yorkers pay for those stadiums.
Amy, let Shirley say something. She wants to say something.
I saw a special on those stadiums being built in different cities. It does not help the city. They don't know why they don't make the owners who has billions of dollars to pay for it. We don't make no money off of it at all.
And the advertising, is that
yes.
Sandra? Oh, yes, I know. Yes, of course we don't. And it's the advertising pays for it, like City Field or like the New Yankee State, and the prices. And then they don't even put them on TV, regular TV that people can watch. I mean, it's no longer a community or a statewide thing. It's bought and sold like everything else, and we pay for it. People pay for it.
Sometimes the teams are like extortionists. Say, we're going to leave, we're going to move to another city because they're going to build us a magnificent stadium. So if you don't build us a stadium, we're going to leave.
The Raiders.
Raiders. They do that all the time.
What team just left for state and went to Las Vegas?
The Raiders.
That was the Raiders.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna up and move from New York City. And more people will come here, but
and they still owe California money.
Probably.
Who owns the team now that Al's gone? Or who's Al Davis?
Little Al, probably. I think it's still in the family, ain't it? It's still one of them pricks from the Davis family, I think.
Yeah. But this guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I mean, Al Davis was nuts, but, you know, he had some idea.
That was the Raiders, I think, but I don't know where they're going.
The absolute worst one was when they moved the Browns. The Browns sold out their stadium every game for a losing ass team, and they kept people coming to that stadium. And then the guy moved in the middle of the night.
Well, yeah, I remember. And they had, if you're gonna sneak around, don't have a camera crew freaking, shooting you moving out. It's not like people aren't gonna know. That was hilarious. They had that big truck, and they had it filmed. It was amazing.
And he really rubbed it in her face too. That was the bad. Yeah, I mean, it was an awful move, and that's why eventually the NFL made sure they got an expansion, and they named it the Browns. And I was glad they did because, that was really kind of like Cleveland needs to get screwed over one more time.
All right. So Kevin has a hard time to chime in, so let's give him some talk time. Kevin, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Kevin.
It's been an aggravating hour and a half.
Sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sorry, bro.
Well, I think all the way back when Snork was talking about the waste from the plants and what it could be utilized for, and the runoff products from a lot of industry could be reutilized other places. They just don't have the connections to provide a pathway to get those So basically, for a while, I've been trying to chime in, and also on the cop issue about the gun extortion forum, and I have they got pulled over by a cop, and they literally tried to say I had a warrant when I was down in Oklahoma for a couple of months, like 4 or 5 months. And so it's like there's no way in hell I never did anything wrong. I was working down there and everything, and it out of the car and stuck me in the back of the car. And like my name again. You're fucking bullshit. And they just kept with the line. Oh, how no, you got a warrant. You got a warrant. You got a warrant. They just kept saying that over and over and over. And it was a male and a female. And the really fucked up thing is once I realized the point to where they just kept repeating that over and over, I'm like, all right, how much money you want? They issued me a ticket. So I know goddamn well the cops security is all fucking shit.
His feet was kind of broken.
Yeah.
You faded out at the end, but I heard the story about getting pulled over and getting harassed several times about not a non-existent warrant. Yeah, that is bullshit.
And I ended up having to pay him $200
Oh,
to
wow.
buy my freedom. So I didn't end up going to jail. And I had nothing. I did nothing. They just said I had a speeding ticket. When, they pulled me over and said I had a warrant. So I know the cops lie constantly. Every word a cop says, don't believe them. I mean, unless you verify it, don't believe them. They're paid liars.
We had a guy was iron worker on the Portland airport job. The iron worker shack got broken into, and they stole a bunch of tools and stuff. You know, it was the rod busters. The guy ties rebar all day. And so the guy that's the foreman, he's a really nice guy. Everybody on the job loves him, you know. He called up the cops about it. The cops come out. And like half an hour after the cops leave, the cops come back. They're gonna arrest the dude that called in the robbery for a warrant, for some bullshit warrant that was like it was all a misunderstanding. But they came and arrested that dude, put him in cuffs. And man, you want to see some scared ass cops? There was a line of guys all across every floor of the garage screaming down at these guys with like wrenches and shit in their hands. You know, I mean, everybody was pretty pissed because this was just the nicest guy in the world. And it just ended up being a bullshit deal, you know. But you're right. They'll get you if they can get you.
I read earlier tonight on a Daily Caller that a small town of Louisiana, I forgot the town's name, but the police chief and other police officers resigned because they was pulling over citizens just to give them tickets to make revenue for the city.
Yeah.
So, Stevie, you had your hand raised?
Oh, yeah. I know I've seen like a few things like about like the like NFL and stuff, but like I'm interested to see what kind of like foul play is kind of going on with like the college football and sports, because I know here like WVU, the Milan Stadium, which is named after the drug company, has a Friends at Coal Bowl that they have, which they are like one of the two biggest political donors here. So, yeah, it's a corporate clusterfuck basically. It's awful. Y'all know anything about that, like going on with your colleges in your areas?
Well, I don't pay any attention to sports, but I mean, I'm sure everyone's heard about the stuff at Duke with, I think, was that a lacrosse team? There's always some scandal, UNC or Duke. UNC, it was, they were passing people without like actually going to class or something with the football team. There's always something, but I literally like the only sports we pay attention to is UNC gymnastics, because my daughter does gymnastics. I'm just not a sports person at all. Like there will be a game and I won't know until I try to go somewhere and there's traffic and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Oh yeah. I don't know.
There's always a ridiculous new stadium here. Speaking of stadiums, I swear Atlanta is the dumbest when it comes to stadiums. They had a perfectly good, very new, it wasn't very old at all, stadium for the stupid Braves, which pisses me off in the first place because I think it's such a like BS, like insulting, like fake Indian name. It's just irritating. But anyway, they had this perfectly.
Right, I know what you mean.
Yeah, they had this perfectly good stadium in downtown Atlanta, but some jackass said, "Oh, I want to move them to Marietta," so he bought the team or something, and he fucking moved it all the way down to Marietta, which is like 40-minute drive away from downtown in bad traffic. So they are building this ridiculous stadium there now, and I guess it's going, but it's such a ripoff. It's like baseball used to be a game, like a happy little game played in a field and crap. It was easy going. Now it's this big thing with the and the lights and you've got to get online and pay to, you know, your soul. Half your week's salary to go to the game, and you've got to buy your parking ticket on there too. And I mean, it's just
expensive.
Rip you. I would never in a million years go do that.
It used to be very public, very community, I think, and it has strayed so far from what it is. It's not even on TV anymore. They have special channels for those types of things, while we pay for the stadiums. Again, another thing the public and the community pays for.
So why is church...
Generally speaking, that is not available to us monetarily, or just that we don't want to pay for. It's just another one of the things, and it's down there on the list, because I put extra wars on top of the list, but, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Well, if you get a chance, Ariel, and you're back in Portland, you gotta go see. Hey, you got to go see a Portland Timbers game. It's a kick in the ass.
Oh, what are
soccer team? Their soccer team. Oh man, that place is rocking. That place is great. Plus, you got to see. It's so cool when they let out. When they let out, everybody comes out. And they've got like long rows of bicycle stands. Right. And like half the fans get on bicycles and ride away. It's of all the sports, that's one that's worth going to at that stadium because it's a kick.
Where are you?
That's good.
I'm in Yakima, Washington.
But
I used to live in Portland area.
Is it? That's not
What's
too
that?
Portland, is it? Yakima.
It's like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's not far.
Yeah, to go see a game like my daughter, she lives there. And
near Ray Allen. I love Ray Allen. I went to UConn.
So what do you guys think about, I was just pulling up to see if my facts were still straight, and I think, did the NFL give up its tax exempt status just recently, like a couple of years ago maybe? Does anyone know? Because I know they used to be like tax exempt. So what is it with, in America? Church.
They're still tax exempt.
I think they.
As far as I know.
No taxes.
I think they threatened that during the whole. I think they threatened that during one of the many NFL scandals that somebody in Congress threatened to take away that because that was sort of endowed on them. That was. And they said, okay.
About that as pretty progressive, mostly lefties or whatever we are. Never mind, I should say left.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just like them. It's just like if I am a firm belief if a guy comes in and plays soccer in Portland, they got to pay taxes. I had to pay taxes when I worked in Portland. I lived in Washington. You got to pay the employment. The employment tax, because that's just the way it is.
That's too bad for Messi.
But it's church
he was one of my favorite international players. He's so amazing. He scores more goals than anyone. And he's Argentinian. He forgot to pay his taxes somewhere. You make this much fucking money. Sorry. And you don't have people who can do your taxes for you. There's something wrong.
Bye, James.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, James. Have a good one. Take care.
Good night, James.
Bye, James.
That was a good one. That was a good one today, right? That was
Have a good night. Yes.
But,
something that made me really sad about football, if I might say, is that during this time where they were doing union negotiations with players and the team, the only team whose money is actually publicly available is the Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
So the teams were essentially trying to say that they didn't have the money to pay the players, and the players were kind of saying we need to be paid more. And also there was more science coming out showing about how much concussions actually hurt their medical conditions at the very same time, which I believe is true. I'm no doctor, but I believe that. And but I don't think you can engage in a fair negotiation if you're not showing how much money you're making. And the teams were trying to do this. So what they then did was postpone the preseason games and practices, which actually made these players to injuries and all of these other things, because they really do need to do it. They're not like bored or anything.
It always happens to the phone lines.
To their brand, I think. Then they brought in like fake referees or amateur referees instead of real referees. And it
Scabs.
was so. It was gross to me. I mean, it was gross to me as a product what they had done to their sport in this particular instance. That was all. My opinion, it's probably very. I mean, I'm a minor opinion. I'm one opinion.
That's why I always like. You're a Mets fan. You remember old Sparky Anderson. Sparky Anderson was the manager for the Reds, and then went to Detroit, and they had a players' strike. And they said, well, you can't not cross the picket line. Sparky Anderson said, fuck you, I'm sick, and didn't coach during the period of the players' strike because he wouldn't cross the picket line. I always appreciated that about old Spark.
I just thought you cannot have fair bargaining if somebody's hiding the books, the numbers, everything from you. And it came down to, it could be football, it could be the government, it could be anybody. If they're not, you have to negotiate fairly with somebody who you're up against. And that's how I feel. That doesn't actually go anywhere in the real world, but that's how I feel. Sad.
It's funny, growing up in the South, it's talking about sports and things like that. I mean, it's, college football is the thing in the South. That's the big deal. I grew up with my dad flipping out about Georgia Tech, and that's his school he loves. And he used to go to school at the high school across the street from Georgia Tech. It was O'Keefe High School back then. And Georgia Tech actually owns the building now. And it's really funny. If you've ever been to Atlanta and you know where the varsity is, this little old-timey hot dog, this hamburger place. If you know where that is, and you know that Georgia Tech, the whole institute, is right across the street, but it's all highway now. I mean, it's just huge lanes of highway, huge traffic. But my dad remembers when he could just walk across the street. He said we'd go take off from school and go to the varsity and get a hot dog. And it's the thought of him being able to do that at any point in time is really funny. But what I really don't like, and, I have fun watching college football because it brings back good memories of good times with and stuff like that. But what I hate is how all that corporate crap is like, kind of making its way into the sports. I hate that. It's like, I hate NFL for that reason. It's like, let them keep all that corporate crap, but they try to do it to the college football too, which is a bummer. It's just
well, like when I was in Philly, I worked with like all Irish crew, and every one of those guys, a Notre Dame fan. Ain't one of them has ever seen a fucking college, let alone went to Notre Dame. But they're all Notre Dame fans, man. That was we'd sit around every like every Friday. They bring out the bookie would bring out the sheets, and we'd pick our games for the week, and turn them in, and those guys, they just always made me laugh. They just thought that was Notre Dame was it, man. There was no other team in the world. And I just could never understand. We're in Philadelphia. That's in East Bend, Indiana. I mean, these guys took pilgrimages to go to games, and none of them went to the school. I mean, it just was the most bizarre fans I've ever seen.
We don't do the football so much in the Northeast of America, but I've loved my Big East, like basketball. I loved it. It was like my thing, and I grew up between New York City and Syracuse, mostly closer to New York City, but I loved Syracuse's basketball. But then I went to University of Connecticut, and they were like, "You can't wear those shirts around here." And I'm like, "Yeah, I will." But I love UConn basketball. But then they totally dismantled the Big East. They dismantled everything for football or for profits or for everything. So any team that they played, it was crazy. I mean, and actually, while you also realize too, it was incredible, and I had to realize this as well. A few players on the basketball team stole computers in the early 2000s from the University of Connecticut. And it's like they are getting a free education. They're doing this. Like, why would they do this? And I mean, I actually thought to myself, though, that they grew up in, in areas where they just might not have known anything differently. Like maybe they just didn't know, and that's what they learned. And it was
part of the problem is that college players aren't compensated in any way other than their and so yeah, the guy gets a free education and free room and board and all that good stuff, but that doesn't pay for like hamburgers on Saturday night or anything. And it used to be the alums always sort of tried to figure out ways to get them cash. And then what is it? The NCAA cracked down on that. But it was, and the NCAA
no, they've always been.
They want to keep their student athletes. They don't work. They really want to make sure they're never recognized as actually working for school when they bring in money into these schools,
The thing is, too, though, I guess it depends on the school, but I know at Georgia Tech, you have to maintain a certain grade point average. You can't just play football there and be an idiot. You really do have to go to the school, and Tech is a hard school.
Not all schools are like that, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, or they say that they're like that, but they're not really like that. And Georgia Tech I'm sure does better than most of them. But
go down to UGA. That's where you can go be a dum-dum. That's where you can go be a drunken. That's cool, seriously. That place in Athens, it smells like a freaking bar. It smells like beer and urine. Oh yeah, it's nasty. It's gross.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go now.
Shirley, bye.
Shirley. Bye, Shirley. Bye. You take care now. Have a good one.
You too. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend.
Bye, Shirley. Have a lot of barbecue.
Stay safe.
Virginia Tech during
Happy
Beaver
red,
Ball.
white, and blue.
Right. Thank you.
During Beamer Ball, they snuck some guys in. When I actually went to Virginia Tech, it was more on the basketball. They were trying to get more on the basketball side, and they failed. They failed miserably. And there was a guy, I can't remember the guy's name right. I think it was like Russell Pierre or something. It was supposed to be a big star, and they found out that they basically helped him. They helped him cheat on the SATs, and he got like an 800 or something.
Yeah.
Like even with cheating, and they had the athletic director went basically for a town hall, and he's like, okay, and he did a little spiel, and he's like, okay, well, does anybody have any questions? And of course, I raised my hand. I was like, all right, I get a an 1100 on my SATs. You got a guy who can shoot a basketball that gets 750 on their SATs. Who are you going to pick? He's like, the basketball player. I'm like, okay, see you later. I'm like, really? So I know they say that. I know they say grades, but, it's the money. You're following the money. So, I don't know. I know University of Florida was bad, too. Or those Florida schools.
Yeah.
They were working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing that was recent that really pissed me off about it was the Seminoles down there. They let this guy stay on who was he had all this sexual assault and things. I mean, he was just a mess. He was a wreck. I think they finally kicked him out, but they should have done it a lot sooner.
Well, the guy that got kicked out from Virginia Tech was Michael Vick's brother, Marcus Vick.
Wow.
And Michael Vick was the good brother. So he was a fucking dumbass.
Holy shit.
So, yeah.
I highly, if it's still on Netflix, it may not be, but there is a really great documentary called The Champions, and it is about Michael Vick's dogs. It's really not so much about Vick, it's about the dogs, and about what was really done to them and how widespread it was, and all the different humane societies and shelters and different groups that came together and rescued and rehabilitated the dogs, because they were just going to euthanize them all when they discovered all that.
I didn't realize they saved all of them, or a lot.
They saved as many as they could. Some of them just had to be put down because they were in such poor condition. It was just so terrible. I mean, you had dogs that had their teeth entirely pulled out of their heads without anesthetic.
Right.
If someone had done that to a kid, they would have been in jail forever. There's no way. They probably would have executed him.
Vic is not rehabilitated. He's not rehabilitated.
And I can't believe that they still let him play, and there are people that don't think he's such a bad guy. And it's like, he did these things. Sometimes he did them in front of his own children, holding down dogs' heads in water buckets until they died. I mean, it's just, good God. But the thing that was so awesome about this documentary is that it really gets into the people that do the actual interaction with the dogs. It's very sweet. It's really funny in some parts about the way the dogs are and how cute they really are. And there's this one guy that rescued one of the Vic dogs, and he said, I knew that I was getting one of his dogs, and I didn't know what he was going to be, and I thought he's going to be this big old Cujo dog, and then this funny little fellow walks and looks like a little cow. He's a black and white spotted dog, and he was just very comical. And so, but it's very much like people, after people have been traumatized or been abused. And the dogs they all have different ways of being. It's like most of them were afraid of going upstairs, because when they would be taken up to be, to fight, there was a stairway that they'd be taken up. And so it's little things like that. But it's kind of nice. It's one of those really awesome things. It's like for every evil person, there really are some great people that are so caring. And really, and the dogs are so great. I mean, pit bulls are just, of course, we all know they get a bad name, but they are. They're just great.
That guy follows me around around like bad foot odor. Freaking Michael Vick. I mean, I went to Virginia Tech, and then he was there when I went back a couple of times, and then every freaking town that I went to, he was playing for them. I was like, son of a bitch, I can't get away from this guy. And my wife is a huge animal lover. Okay, more than me. And I rescue. We have like 4 or 5 cats at a time, all the time. I go to animal rescue. The whole 9 yards. She lets freaking raccoons in a house.
Oh no, I wouldn't go that far.
What the hell? No, they're cute. No, I know, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. You got to close them. But they're so cute. No, stop it. But she refused. I'm watching a football game. I'm watching the playoffs. Oh, Vic's on that team.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Turn it off.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, I can understand that.
I do understand it. I really do. Because when you're watching a game with him on it, you are condoning what he did.
Sure.
I get it.
Sure.
You know,
yeah.
I'm like, damn, I want to watch my team. He's not on my team. Can I watch my team and root against him? No. You got to turn it off. Okay.
Yep.
Mojo knew we were talking about dogs. He walked up and curled up against me. It's just.
Aww.
Oh, he does. He knows, like, when I'm looking through Twitter and I got like a whole bunch of like cute dog people on my list, so I always get those. He knows when I stop and watch one of those videos that has no sound. You know, as soon as I let out an aw or something, he comes over and curls in. What, are you cheating on me?
I love it when the cats, when the cats are like watching cat videos and like jump at the TV or whatever. I love that.
Yeah.
Or like it's stone statues of cats. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I just checked Netflix, and that documentary is on there still. The Champions. It's very.
I can't watch it with my wife around because she couldn't handle it. Seriously.
The good thing that I will.
But I'll take a look at it.
No, the good thing that I will say about it, and it would probably be fine for her to watch because it really isn't so much about Vic. It's not so much about the abuse. It doesn't go into graphic detail. It's really mostly about the people that rehabilitated the dogs and their relationships with them, and that's what makes it so awesome. It really.
I don't know if I can watch it with her because she's like, "Oh, how could you go to school with that man?" I'm like, "Really? You know,
you didn't choose
like
it.
One of like 15,000 dudes that were in that school." God sake.
Yeah, no, it's just a very inspiring documentary. I've watched it several times. There is one guy that had like a radio show, and he was so pissed off at Vic. He like chased him down at some event, something he was doing, and he got on him. He was like, you know, what about the dogs? What are you going to say about that? Because he had adopted one of his dogs, and he was pretty pissed. So you can understand. I mean, that brings up some really deep feelings for the people that
Vic will never get that money back
every day. And it's like, what a monster, you know, to treat these animals that way. And the thing that's so sad about it, you know, pit bulls are terriers, and they're very people pleasing, extremely to a fault. And so it's like, it's so manipulative. It makes it even more evil when someone, you know, manipulates these dogs to kill or to fight or to do things like that, because they're just trying to please their people, and they're also terrified, you know, and it's just.
Is it? Is it true? Is it true that he had a lot of white boxers? I heard that was a thing, because white boxers, it's a genetic defect, and they're a little not right in the head. Typically, I heard that he actually had white
about that. I hadn't heard anything about that specifically, but I know that they were forcing a lot of breeding, and that's another awful part.
Right.
It's like they would have, you know, females and they would breed them till they were just completely used up, and it was just
done.
I just feel like there's definitely a special place, a special level of hell for people like that. It's just. And it blows my mind that anyone could think that this guy is normal, because if you study typical like serial killers or things like that, we've talked about this kind of thing before, but a lot of them start out with killing animals. It's always like a segue, and so it's like anybody really would do something like that. You only have to look at it close, because if they'll do it to an animal, they'll probably do it to a person.
Well, I mean, what's crazy is the fact that, like, you know, everybody, like, media would cover Michael Vick and you know, paint him as the horrible person that he was, but then, you know, these other guys would go and, like, beat their wives or beat other people, and, you know, like, nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Well, the other thing was people defending Vic for, it's just part of the culture. Get the hell out of here.
Wow.
Well, that's a fucked up culture.
I don't even remember hearing that at all.
Yeah, I mean,
no, there were some basketball players and some other guys. Oh, that's just part of
defending him,
dogfighting culture.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Someone like that should never be allowed to play sports again. And honestly, I feel like in order to really show any degree of rehabilitation, this guy should be out there having to work for, you know, like humane shelters and really see the result of his actions firsthand. It's like, you know.
I wouldn't want him around dogs, in all honesty.
All right, guys. I hit my limit. I gotta get going. See y'all later.
Yeah, me too, guys. It's
brother.
Much love to y'all.
Thanks. Love you guys.
I think it's a good night.